Hey everybody, it's Red Panda Gamer here for another exciting episode of Play or Pass, the review show where I play a game for a while and tell you guys whether you should play it or pass it up. Today we're playing the game Zombie Driver HD. Now the reason it's Zombie Driver HD and not just Zombie Driver is because this game came out a couple years ago on Steam, but it's been re-released now on the Xbox Live Arcade and PSN for a price of $10, sorry, 800 Microsoft points. And I actually think it's a pretty good deal. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the stuff of the game. There's a couple different modes. There's the story mode, there's the blood race, and the slaughter. All of these are very, very different. And originally, when I just played through the mission mode, I was a little disappointed. But then it turns out it's actually really, really neat. I'm going to try and show you... Yeah, this one. I want to go through a mission that I've already done that I know is already pretty cool. So this is basically the idea of the game. You'll get a mission... and you'll have your primary objective, which this time it's to investigate the airplane crash site. We'll get money, we'll get flamethrower, and we'll get ramming upgrade. So you unlock different upgrades when you do missions. Our secondary objective, we have to beat it in 4 minutes. We'll get $3,000 more, which is close to twice. So we get this nice little debrief from our captain. There's quite a bit of voice acting, and it's not really bad at all, but it feels a little cheesy sometimes. We have a couple cars unlocked right now. This is really it though. Some of these cars you unlock by doing bonus things, like I got the limo by clearing out the mayor's office, the mayor's building. I got the muscle car in another mode of the game, and you start off with a taxi and you get a sports car also. So there's a lot of things you get unlocked. But one of the weird things about this game is, well, not weird, but one of the things I don't like, I normally don't like this in most like RPG games, is that you only really upgrade individual cars. And now that's okay because you actually do end up getting quite a bit of money in this game, but you can only update individual cars, and like obviously you're not really going to use the taxi very much, so you'll end up wanting to use something better, but you won't necessarily want to do something like upgrade a lot of stuff because you don't want to risk not having... I'm probably not making sense right now, but it makes sense to me. So I went ahead and upgraded a few things since I've actually never upgraded this car. Another problem I have with this game, it's a smaller problem, but it's always kind of a pet peeve of mine, especially with downloadable stuff, is the loading times aren't really all that great. It's just a little frustrating. Like I personally will be a little impatient with games if loading time takes a while, just because like, okay, this game is taking forever, I might as well just play something I can instantly play over and over and over again. But that's kind of a minor gripe. Yeah, so you can tell this is taking a little while. But I was lucky enough, the developers of this game, they went ahead and sent me a free copy. Or a review copy, so thanks a lot you guys, I really do appreciate it, and hopefully those of you who have interest in this game, this review will help you a bit. So this is basically where you start off most of your missions. You start off at this military base. I'm not really going for time, just for the sake of being able to talk about everything. That's your main base, basically. Haha, basically, it's funny. Okay, so it's got a top-down angle. I don't dislike it. It's a little weird at first, like I personally am not really used to stuff like this. Here's all our zombies. The thing that's interesting about this game is it doesn't focus as much on... This is going to sound odd to say, but it doesn't focus as much on the zombies as much in a way as it focuses more on just the driving, I guess. And the zombies are just really an obstacle that could really just be replaced by anything. You have machine guns on the front of your car. There's a couple different weapons, but the main one is machine gun. Oh dear God. This is why I picked this mission, because I think this is really cool. So here we have like our first like boss battle, quote unquote, and obviously the objective is to kill it. The story really isn't all that clear. It seems like the typical like government corruption, like conspiracy theories. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, I really don't mind. I mean, there's a reason that's a stereotypical storyline, is because it's a good storyline and it's an entertaining storyline, and we all feel like one day, you know, the government's going to unleash some type of zombie virus on us. But you slowly kind of piece things together. Not as quickly or as obviously as some may like. This game really isn't as much about the game itself, like the story, as much as it's like, alright, you get to drive around in a car with machine guns on it and kill zombies. What do you really want from us? But the amount of cars is pretty cool, and I feel like they do a really good job making the secondary objectives, like they give you a lot of incentive to, like, you know, maybe try and beat this in 4 minutes, which is possible. Like, I'm not doing a very good job right now, but it's definitely not impossible, and it's not always timed ones. I mean, you will get a lot of timed ones, because obviously timed missions are the easiest ones to give bonuses to. Oh, shit. But there'll be ones like, you know, for bonus, go clear out an extra area, and sometimes when you clear out an extra area, you get an extra car, and you can basically use that extra car at any point in the game. So I think that's pretty cool. There's really no DLC for this game yet. It's mainly just like Avatar stuff, and nothing really too insanely special. But I did want to say, I really do like this game. To be honest, though, not as much for the main story as much as I thought I would. I thought I'd really like it. I think one of my biggest problems with the main story is that there's breaks in the action, that you're not just constantly playing in this overworld, that, you know, you have to go to menus and you have to, like, do mission debriefings and stuff like that. I mean, it's not that big of a complaint, but it's not as big of a smooth world as I would like. So this guy blows up. It's a very gory game. This game reminds me a lot of the 90s, because I feel like a lot of the stuff is very reminiscent of games like Twisted Metal and like Road Rash, and just a lot of these like quote-unquote racing games that really changed the formula in like a really badass way that you really don't expect from any other time than the 90s. Now, I'm not trying to say that's like really not even a bad thing. I still think it's great, and I still think it's a lot of fun. But in a lot of ways, it's just like, it has that, you know, it has that whole feeling of like awesome 90s game that, you know, it's not really about what you're doing, it's not really why you're doing, it's what you're doing. But at the same time, I'm not gonna make it. Oh shit. At the same time, this game at points takes itself a little too seriously with like the, oh shit, I almost made it. No! I'm here though. Damn. Alright, so we didn't complete the bonus objective. And basically, I mean, if you're not really concerned about getting there in a certain amount of time, you really can just drive around as much as you want and just kind of do whatever you want. But oh well, we failed, so go ahead and just park there, and you complete the mission. So pretty simple. Pretty standard drive mission based stuff. You can always replay missions to get more money or try to get a better time, or if you didn't get the secondary objectives, you can try and do a secondary objective. And yeah, it says right there, bonus cars and paints. A lot of that stuff comes from all forms of the game, actually. Alright, so we get some statistics at the end of it. They tell you how many zombies you kill, how long it took you, the highest combo, and basically you get combos for like running over multiple zombies or shooting multiple zombies in a certain amount of time. So that's the mission mode. And I don't think there's a way to look, but I think there's 30 missions total. I'm pretty sure there's 30 missions total. I could be wrong about that, but I mean, that, like I said, there's a lot more to this game than just that. One of the other big parts of this game is the blood race. Now, that might just sound strictly like racing, but it's a lot more than that, really. So here we have a couple different events. We have Eliminator, Race, Endurance, and Eliminator again. So I'll at least show you Eliminator, because there's a couple different things I can show you even without this. So we'll go ahead and do Eliminator. You see right there we have a couple different prizes we can do. And basically an event, it's kind of like Mario Kart in a way, to where you have, you know, your specific events, and then you have to do the best in all of them to move on. But the unfortunate thing is, if you don't do well in one and you want to start over, you have to start the whole thing over. See, I can't start this mission right now. But yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. But we'll go ahead and just start a new tournament. We have to see, that's one of the few things I kind of have a problem with this mode. But at the same time, it's not very often that you're restarting anyway, so no biggie. So we're going to go ahead and do this event. We're going to do Eliminator. And I'm going to use, see, we have a couple different cars here. Spoilers, I guess. But there's really not that many cars either, which is kind of a downer. And that might not necessarily be because there's not a lot. It might just be because it doesn't tell you what's available yet. Like, there might be some ones they don't want to spoil. I don't really know. Alright, so Eliminator, destroy as many opponents as possible before the time runs out. Watch for that indicator to check how many kills are needed. Alright, so this is the Eliminator. So we need to take out all these other guys. It's not really a race, but the longer you are able to drive for, the more checkpoints you'll hit. So So even though it's structured like a even though it's structured like a racetrack, it's not actually a race. It's kind of weird. But here I'll get to show you a few more of the weapons. Right here I have a rocket launcher, which is really my favorite weapon. It's probably like my least favorite, but it works pretty well, just because the range of it's a little weird. The machine gun's probably my favorite. It's the easiest to understand. The rockets can be a little confusing, like as far as like knowing your range. You can see like we hit a checkpoint right there. It's also flamethrower, as you can see this individual in front of me using. Flamethrower is pretty good, but it requires you to get relatively close to your target, so it could be a little difficult to use. Ah, shit. So, since this is, you know, a car-based game, you're probably wondering quite a bit about... Oh, there we go, flamethrower. No, he got away. You're wondering probably about the steering. The steering's not bad, it just takes a while to get used to. Like, at first, like, when I first picked up this game, I'm like, oh, I hate this. This feels terrible. But then you kind of get used to it. The problem with the cars is they're very hard to steer. And rightfully so, though. I mean, like, in a more realistic way. Like, it's not as smooth as most racing games try to make their cars. But I don't really have a problem with that because that's kind of realistic. Oh, by the way, we're doing laps, not, it's not like a continuous race. Some of these levels are more continuous races than lap-based. This one is lap-based. I thought that was kind of, yeah, lap-based. So Eliminator's probably one of my favorite missions. I mean, modes. There is like a standard race mode, but it can be really difficult just because everyone's got weapons, and there's kind of a, it's not terrible, it's not as bad like Mario Kart, but there's kind of a rubber band effect on it, to where if you're like way too far ahead, like it's almost inevitable that something bad's gonna happen to you. But I mean, that's pretty standard for racing games. It's the best way to create challenge without actually having to, like, you know, because at some point you kind of have to do that. But I'm sure most of you understand that. And it's not like a drastic, like, fake rubber band effect either. Like, it's not like 1 minute you're gonna be like in the lead and the next minute you're like in last. Like, it's not that bad. It's just noticeable. See, I'm having a little bit of trouble steering right now. Sometimes when I use the turbo bass, super bass. When I use the turbo bass, I have a little... Why do I keep saying turbo bass? When I use the turbo, I have a little bit of trouble steering, and I'm not really sure where that stems from, but it's a little annoying. The other thing is, sometimes when you get turned around in this game, it can be pretty difficult to readjust yourself. So the other thing too is zombies. They will damage your car. They'll start beating away at it, and there's some missions where you're definitely more at risk. Like the one I just showed you was a pretty easy mission. I mean, and that's probably obvious, but this game does get very difficult. And if you die, you don't necessarily lose the mission. I got silver medal. I'll take it. That's fine. My goal wasn't to be super impressive. I just wanted to kind of show off a few things. Alright, so we did alright, and you get a lot of cash from these events too, which is something I like about it. I like making damn money. So the cool thing too about leaderboards is they really do show you like everyone else's standings on the leaderboards. So right now, number 79, there's only 164 entries since this game just came out. Not a lot of people own it, but it was kind of cool. Like when I first got it, and there was only about like 10 people or 30 people who had review codes, and I could see all their high scores. So that was pretty interesting. Or the developer scores were on there too. So I'll also go ahead and show the actual race, because I'm sure there will be some people who are interested in that because it's a racing game at its core. So pretty soon, and see, that is one interesting thing though, they don't necessarily give, like, even though you have something unlocked in the campaign, that doesn't necessarily mean you can use it right away in the actual game. So we have to buy back some of these cars, or buy some of these cars. I mean, you can still use them in normal campaign mode, but you have to buy them here. So now I have the limo. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use the limo because it's got a lot of upgrades. And if you decide, oh shit, I shouldn't have spent that money, you can always cancel payments, which is kind of funny. But I really like this game. Originally, and see, here's the thing, I got a review code of this game, so my first thought when I was playing, I was like, I don't know if this game's going to be worth like $20. But then it turns out it's only 800 Microsoft points, $10. So I'm like, okay, you know, I think I can get behind that. And I'm actually, you know, when I play it again now, like I had a really long time playing this. Like when I first got it, I played this for probably about 4 hours or so. And I really wasn't sure if I liked it. And then I took a break from it until, I don't know, like an hour ago when I was like, all right, I'm going to play a little bit of this to get ready for my review. And, you know, the more I play it now, I'm actually liking it a lot more. Now that I'm actually talking about it with, like, other people, or I guess not really physically other people. And my car's on fire. Let me go ahead and use turbojets. You also get points for destroying things, which I find kind of funny. Oh, jeez. My car's not doing so hot. Oh, and I don't know if I don't think I've pointed this out yet, but if you've seen those green things, like the items I've been picking up, the green ones are health. Pretty sure that was obvious, but if it wasn't obvious, there you go. So we have a flamethrower, we have a rocket launcher, we have machine guns, and then the final weapon, which I haven't gotten yet because I always seem to have trouble getting it, is the purple one, and my car just blew up. But we made it to the end of the lap, so that's kind of cool. I'll put us back a little bit. That green one right there is health. Health is incredibly important in like this game mode. But what's funny about this game mode is, oh, here we go. Here's the last thing I need to show. Oh, now it's gone. But that purple one's a beam, and you've probably seen it like shooting around, like that right there. And that's kind of an overpowered weapon. The thing about it is, this is a beam. It goes like straight through everything, and so you can kill like a lot of stuff at once. Like everything that's down that path that you're shooting it will get hit by it inevitably. Also, I don't think I've really put attention onto it, but the hub down below that shows your health and your ammo and your boost. The cool thing about your boost is if you pick up boost at any point while you're playing, like a session, like whether it be a mission or the races, you actually get your boost and it just regenerates. But you don't necessarily ever need to pick up the blue ones, which are the boost, but you'll have to wait for it to recharge. So I think that's kind of cool that they let you just use your boost instead of making you have to get it as an upgrade. And the boost can actually be a really powerful weapon. Like you've seen me maybe do my power slides, and you can actually just do donuts and just like kill every single zombie like in a vicinity. Like there you go. Now I have the beam of light now. Didn't even notice that. I'm gonna lose it again. That's another thing. Like there's like two different issues I have sometimes. Like sometimes I won't be able to get anything, and then sometimes I just can't hold on to the things I want to use. There we go. Getting quite a bit of kills, but actually maybe I'm not doing as well as I thought I was. I know I was doing much better last time. There we go. This will get me at least one. I mean, as long as I get the bronze, I don't really care what happens, but I don't even think I'm going to get that. Oh, god dang it. Gah! There you go. So yeah, you can boost through cars too, which is pretty neat. I think it's swell. Okay, cool. So we barely made it to bronze. I don't know how we did so bad, but you guys get the idea. And that game mode's actually kind of difficult. It's not like impossibly difficult, but it's definitely the hardest one. But I can already tell you right now, this game is a play for me. Unless you're turned away from like the driving. Like, to be honest, the driving mechanics themselves are not that great. And I'm not trying to like be a negative Nancy, but they could be better. The steering could be a little better. So what's this one? This is endurance. So I'm going to show you endurance in this mode. This is slaughter, and slaughter is very, very similar to endurance, but endurance is more based on medals, but you get medals for these one too. And I've already done 2 of these, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the park. This is new. I've never done this one, and you get all the vehicles you've unlocked in campaign. You don't have to buy them like you do in the other mode that I can't remember. Blood Race. Blood Bash. Blood Race. So I say play this game mainly because it's only $800 and there's so much content. Like if you're looking for like a very specific zombie game, this might not be the one for you because it's really not based around zombies as much as it's just based around driving, and it just so happens to be like a zombie apocalypse. Like it almost feels like they made a game. Like it almost feels like they made this game and they made like all the different modes for it, and then they decided, you know, there might not be enough here for a full game. So then they just went forward and said, okay, let's just make it, you know, let's just put zombies in it, make it post-apocalyptic. And I'm fine with that. But I was a little disappointed because, in my honest opinion, I thought this was going to be like a post-apocalyptic taxi rider, or taxi driver, taxi cab? Crazy Taxi, jeez. I thought it was going to be like a crazy, like, zombie taxi cab kind of game. Crazy Taxi, well, I keep calling it the wrong thing. I thought it was going to be like a crazy taxi with zombies in it. And even though it wasn't, I'm still okay with it. My biggest complaints are controls can be a little wonky and they can be kind of difficult to get used to. I have a little bit of issues. I have a few issues with like the campaign mode. It can feel a little odd and like not very fluent. And then I don't like the load times. I'll say everything I like about it too. I'm just telling you. Like I said, I think this game is a play. I totally think everyone should get it. But I also have an issue with what was it? Oh, I think this game. This is my biggest, like, as far as the actual content goes. I feel like because everything else is just small little issues I have with it. I feel like this game takes itself way too seriously in the fact that I feel like games like Twisted Metal and Road Rage, as I mentioned earlier, they have a very good sense of humor about like what they are. Like they know they're a very ridiculous game, but that's kind of what they sell it based on. And I love that. I love when game developers do that. When game developers like, we have a crazy ass concept and we're gonna roll with it, everyone's gonna love it. You know, I kind of like that. Like if you're gonna do something crazy or just silly, you should maybe just make it a little more lighthearted, make it a little silly. But they don't do that in this game. This game's pretty intense. I mean, you can see by the amount of gore, you can see by like the music they play, just the ambience in general. And then one of my favorite things in this game is like it is and it isn't like the style. Like I feel like it takes itself too seriously, but at the same time I feel like it does such a good job with what it's trying to show off. Like probably the coolest levels in this game are the levels where it's dark and all you can see is like what's in your headlights. And it's kind of scary. Like it sets the mood very well. Like it's freaky and really makes you, especially if you drive, like it makes you think about, well, how much can I see while I'm driving at night, you know? It's pretty cool. And in general, like I like this mode a lot. Like I like the endurance mode, and I like I don't, like I said, it's very love-hate in this game for me, but I don't like the controls, and yeah, I love the controls. Like I like that they're a little weird. And the thing is, like, this is the kind of game that you take a little while to master. Like, you're not going to just pick it up and be like, yeah, I got this. It's going to take you a little while, and the campaign definitely does a good job of, like, leaning you into it. It doesn't just throw you down and be like, alright, here you go. Here's, like, one of the hardest missions in the game. You're not just gaming over every time. But then, at some point, there's just no excuse. You should know the game. So they make it a little more difficult for you. So anyway, I should probably talk about this mode I'm playing right now. This is endurance, basically, but it's also its own mode. And basically all you got to do is just survive. It's very similar to like Nazi zombies and stuff like that. Basically it's endurance. You have to survive the zombie horde for as long as possible. Now I'm using this beam, and you can see right there that it changed as I was using it. And every time you pick one up, it gets an upgraded version. I don't know if it's every time. I really don't know exactly how it works, how the upgrades work in this. But like I've seen, like I've at points gotten up to like 2 large like green and red beams. Getting beat up a little bit here. But as you're playing through this mode, like more stuff will spawn, more zombies will spawn. So it's kind of like they'll give you, there's going to be more zombies, but there also is going to be a lot more weapons. So it's a trade-off. But it can be a little difficult. The highest level I've gotten to, I believe, was 17 on the second level of this. And it can be pretty rewarding. Like I typically like games that are styled like this. Like I think they're pretty fun. But it's just a lot of like, it's more of like honing your skills than anything. I don't know what that just did. Oh, I think that placed a mine? Not really sure. Did something. And I think the machine gun is my favorite weapon, just because it's much more controllable. And actually, you know, I haven't gotten a boost yet, which sucks because, like I said, if you have the boost once, you can always, it always just recharges itself as you play. There's also money that will be scattered around the level. But yeah, I like this game a lot. I think it's really good. As I said, there is another version of it on Steam. Just Zombie Driver, just regular Zombie Driver. I think it came out in, I want to say 2009. But it came out in 2009. That's what I'm going to stick to. It may have been earlier or later, but you know, don't crucify me if I'm wrong. Oh god, I'm getting stuck. But there's a lot of differences. So if you already own it and you're thinking, well, why should I buy it again? It's, you know, it's not like it's just an HD version. And I don't really know why they called it that, because it's really not what it is. But this version has like twice the content, which is nice. Plus you have Xbox Live and PlayStation, so you can play with your friends. This game does have co-op. I'm not sure if we're up to many players. I know that's something I should know, but I'm just being honest, I don't really remember. Cool, we reached the bronze. I'd like to get the gold, but if I can't, yeah, well. But yeah, you get more points by racking up more kills in a row, and more upgrades come out when you kill more overall. Very bloody game. There's a little bit of foul language in the story sections, like in the script. Not too much. Other than that, I really haven't noticed too much mature content. Like, I wouldn't freak out. You get armor upgrades too, by the way. I guess I didn't mention that. But anyways, yeah, so you get a lot of points for racking up kills, obviously. And as you can see, you know, every zombie game has its own version of the boomer nowadays. But the boomers, as I call them, or the large zombies, like that one I just ran into, actually do a lot of damage to your car if you run into them or if you get too close to them. So the idea of them is you blow them up, and if there's other zombies around them, when you blow them up, you do a lot of damage. Like, you kill, like, it blows up and hurts anything around it, including you, but if you're far enough away, you should be fine. Woo! So yeah, see, that power slide can be powerful. I just don't know why we haven't gotten any turbos. Like, I haven't even seen one. Maybe I missed one. But yeah, definitely recommend this game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. It, like I said, it does take a little while to get used to, so if I... Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. That's something cool that happens, is you can get, like, kind of hoarded. But it's also a really easy way to rack up points. So it's kind of like, alright, you're taking a lot of damage, but you're also going to score big money. Go, go, go. Also, I like the button layout of this game a lot too, which I often have trouble with racing games, is I never like the way the buttons are laid out. But this one's pretty nice. And like I said, it's got a nice arcadey feel. My biggest problem with the arcadey feel, though, is that it just takes itself a little seriously. And why not? You know, it is a really good game, and it is, you know, zombies are a pretty morbid topic. And I totally understand why they maybe wouldn't want to make it more, like, tongue-in-cheek, more silly. So it's not like there's anything wrong with them. I'm like, well, why did you make such a serious game? It's just, it is what it is, you know? And yes! Boost. Use the boost to get through! Oh, see, now I'm shooting these lasers, which is sweet! See, there you go. And actually, what's a pretty cool attention to detail is you can catch them on fire when you do your spin. And my car's about to break because I ran into one of those explodey guys. There's health. Get it. Get it. Get it. Thank you. So getting health can really just elongate your run like crazy. Which I guess might be considered a little unfair, but who cares? But as you go through this, it becomes very important to have as many weapons as possible. Oh shit. That sucks. I ran right into that one. Well, literally, but... Oh, there's a weapon. Oh god. Alright, so we got the double barrel. Shit! Laser! No! Don't hurt me. Oh yeah, that's another weird thing, is the fact that the zombies throw stuff at you. I think my car blew up. Yep, it did. That's unfortunate. But you get the idea. So that was Slaughter. Slaughter's pretty cool. And all you need is one medal. It doesn't matter if it's bronze, silver, or gold. You automatically move on. So 12 waves, 845. So not bad. Longest combo was 50 times 58. It's kind of hard. Obviously it wasn't that great because I only got bronze. So. But there you go. And the leaderboards are cool. I really like that you can see the leaderboards. That you can see how everyone else did. There are, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like, what is that? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so there's 7 of these slaughter stages. There's... How many tournaments? I don't remember. Well, there's 5 events in every tournament. Or not every... No, some of them are different, I guess. Oh, that's right. Here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Or 4. Okay, so 4? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 different tournaments. Each of them has... Oh, a lot of... Okay, so there's quite a lot of events in every stage. And then you have your story mode. So quite a lot of content for an 800 Microsoft point game, a $10 game. So I totally say play. I think you guys should get this game. I think you should give it a try. Try and beat my high scores. It really shouldn't be that difficult to do. And yeah, I hope you try the game out, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it helpful. That's what I'm here for. So guys, go ahead, like this video, favorite this video, and comment on this video, telling me what you maybe want to see next, or telling me your opinion of this game. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Panda Gamer, and I'll see you next time.